last count, there were more than 2,000 children and adults experiencing homelessness in Santa Cruz County, with a disproportionate number of homeless families found in the Pajaro Valley. The COVID crisis and its devastating economic impact on already vulnerable and marginalized families is just beginning to come into focus. Thousands are losing their jobs and wondering how they'll pay their rent or feed their families. In the coming months and years, we know that families will need our help more than ever. Hi, I'm Mike Johnson. I'm the Executive Director here at Pajaro Valley Shelter Services, or PVSS. Our mission at PVSS is to provide families with a path towards self-sufficient futures through short and longer-term housing and supportive services. We envision a community where families have safe, secure, and stable housing and enough space and resources to plan for their futures and pursue happiness. At PVSS, we take the long view with families experiencing homelessness. While some organizations focus on putting people under a roof as quickly as possible, we want families to thrive, not just survive, under a roof of their own. It takes much more than just a roof over their heads. It takes building a firm foundation under their feet. With a budget of $900,000 and a team of 10 staff members, we serve about 200 children and their parents each year. We have 136 beds of shelter, transitional, and long-term housing. Here at PVSS, we excel in 3 areas. We resolve crisis, we transform lives, and we offer hope and home.
To resolve crisis, we have a 30-bed emergency shelter where children and their parents can stay for up to 6 months while they work on their goals to become housed, again either in transitional or permanent housing. The shelter is a safe, stable, drug and alcohol-free environment in which parents work and learn the skills they need to budget, save, manage their finances, build support networks, and overcome adversity. Each year, the shelter serves 105 children and their parents and successfully exits over 75% of them into stable housing.
Many families find that they need more time and support to thrive under a roof of their own. For them, we operate 1- and 2-year transitional housing programs. Altogether, PVSS owns 15 transitional housing units with a total of 80 beds. Families in transitional housing continue to build on the skills they learned in the shelter. Budgeting, parenting, financial management, and saving skills are emphasized. Parents pay affordable rent while they learn self-sufficiency skills and get ready to move into a home of their own. The program is phenomenally successful at housing families. Each year, these 2 programs serve about 60 children and their parents and successfully exit 80% of their families into permanent housing. The real kicker is 40 families have even purchased their own homes since leaving PVSS.
Finally, for our very low-income families that require long-term affordable housing, we offer 6 housing units for up to 26 children and their parents in both Santa Cruz and Monterey counties. 4 out of the 6 units are supported by Section 8 vouchers and help to provide PVSS with rental income we can use for program operations.
Was I living in transitional housing when I was 4 years old? That's when I realized I was part of the program. No wonder it makes sense why I went to daycare there. It makes sense why we were only here for a year. It makes sense why we were showered with gifts on December. A house was furnished. Like, we had everything. We walked in there and all we had to put was a TV. Because we had beds, we had sofas, we had everything, a refrigerator, a table. I remember telling my mom that same day after work, I went over to pick up my kids. She's the one that watches them. And I said, Mom, how come you never told me I was in transitional housing? And she was like, we have talked about it. I'm like, yeah, but you never said this when we lived there, that we were in transitional housing. Thanks for them, we weren't homeless. We were not sleeping in our car or motels. We had a place to live over a year until we found a place. She did mention that she didn't want me to find out. My parents mentioned, they felt like they failed us as parents, that we didn't have a place to live. And that's the reason why we were there. That we were there because we were being helped, not because they're the ones providing the help. Like I told her, I don't hate you for that. Instead, I'm grateful that you guys accepted that help, because my parents are really, their pride is really strong. Like they would not ask for assistance unless it's really necessary. So I told them, I'm happy that you guys didn't allow us to be out in the streets, that you guys took that help. And ever since then, we never went through a crisis like this until they lost their home. Growing up, I always told myself, I don't want my kids to do that. I don't want my kids to go the same thing I went through. I am a mother of two. I have a 4-year-old and a 9-month-old, and a husband as well. Thankfully, they haven't gone through none of that yet, and hopefully they're not, and they never do. But something that I'm teaching my kids is that life is not a fairy tale, and it's not always gonna be perfect, and that not always they're gonna have everything. They have to fight for what they want, and they have to work hard for what they want.
We hope you enjoyed Angie's story. I know I did. We think it stands as a great example of the multi-generational impact of the work that we do here at PVSS. Angie's family are just one of hundreds that came to PVSS when they needed a hand up, not a handout. I am so proud that PVSS was part of Angie's and her family's story of success.